Time for a review of Killers of the Flower Moon, which I finally got to see. So this is a 3.5-hour Martin Scorcese picture starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro and a lady named Lily Gladstone. It's based on a book by David Grann, and I have to say I have not read the book, but I'm an admirer of David Grann. He's a writer for The New Yorker. He comes up with the greatest stories. He finds fantastic stories to write about, and his stuff is just riveting, whether it's short stories or books. And this is one of these stories about America shortly after World War I and the Osage tribe in Oklahoma is put on reservation land, and that land yields oil, and so they become rich. And so, of course, vultures descend on the Osage tribes, and there's intermarriage, and Osage Indians start to be murdered. And the question is, why is this happening, and how is it happening? And so let's take a look at a quick clip, because the acting, of course, is just great with Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. Here's a clip from The Killers where Ernest Burkhart, who is one of the main guys, and William Hale, who is the powerful Robert De Niro character, are arguing about trying to cover up a murder. The guy was supposed to be shot in the back of the head so it looked like suicide. Instead, the fool killer who did it shot him in the front of the head, a classic, typical Scorsese scene.
It's supposed to be a suicide, you dumbbell. You didn't tell him to leave the gun.
I don't know why I told him to leave the gun. I told him exactly
to leave the gun.
Just like you told him, kid. I don't know why he didn't. I don't know why. I told him just like you told him.
You told him to do it in the front of the head, and why did he do it in the back of the head? It's so simple. The front is the front, the back is the back.
He has to make it look like he done it himself.
It just looks like murder. It's not supposed to be that way. You hear?
I told him the front of the head. I said the front of the head, just like this, just like you told me. I promise you. I swear on my children.
No.
I swear on my children, King.
Sit. And don't swear on your children. Makes you look foolish.
Classic Scorsese, because he's fascinated by evil, he's fascinated by corruption, and he sees the humor in it and the stupidity in it, but also, of course, the deadly evil in it. And this is the thing, the way in which he changes the book by Killers of the Flower Moon. And I want to talk about this because people might ask about it. Here's Leonardo DiCaprio talking about the development process, which, by the way, was written by Eric Roth, who wrote Forrest Gump and a lot of very famous pictures.
It was told from the perspective of the FBI. And we developed a screenplay soon after that. But there was a dynamic missing there that we ultimately felt that we weren't getting to the heart of the story. We weren't immersed in the Osage community the way we wanted to be. And there was 2 short sequences of Ernest and Molly together, which was this insanely bizarre love story, something that was hard to fathom in a lot of ways, how this woman stuck by someone who was so duplicitous. But it was true. All of it was true. And so from that point on, we said to ourselves, well, what if we take the chance in getting to the heart of this story and the Osage community and this insane dynamic in Oklahoma at that time and what was going on? What if we made it about, Molly and Ernest?
So this was an inspirational thing. You might say, well, why do I want to watch the bad guys instead of the good guys? And the reason is simple. You know why the good guys are doing what they're doing. You know why they were not the FBI, they were just the Bureau of Investigation. You know why they're trying to solve the crime. And the subtitle of the book is something like The Formation of the Birth of the FBI. But the the Bureau plays a very small part in the movie. But you can't imagine why people are doing the stuff they're doing. The greed, the evil, and especially, as DiCaprio says, this relationship between a white man and an Osage woman who is played by Lily Gladstone in just a tremendous performance. Remember, she's up there with these 2 major stars, and it's a wonderful, wonderful, sympathetic, complex, living female performance. It's just a remarkable performance. And DiCaprio only mentions one side of it. Why does she stay with this guy when she realizes that he's not just duplicitous, he's homicidal? But the other question is how does he go on doing it when he clearly loves her? He actually loves her, and yet is destroying everything she holds dear. And it's a remarkable relationship, and so human and so real. And it's what makes the story take on meaning. Instead of being just another one of these preachy stories, oh, America was bad because minorities were mistreated in the past, it shows you the kind of humanity that goes on, the love that he's capable of feeling for this Osage woman. He really does love her. He loves the children that they produce together, who are half-breed children, who many people are bigoted against, but he loves them too. But he also is destroying them, and he also just has this love of gold, this greed that is forcing him to do what he does. And the same thing in some ways is true of the Robert De Niro character, who is a benefactor of the Osages, but is also this villainous bad guy at the same time. And that's what makes the picture so interesting and what makes the picture so good. This is a lot of stuff. This is something that we get a lot, those of us whose audience is conservatives, those of us artists whose audience are conservatives, will yell at us. Why are you showing us the bad people? Why does everything have to be ugly? Why are you making sex jokes? Why are you doing this? Because that's where art is. Art lives in the humanity of humanity, and the humanity of humanity is dark. People who understand the Bible should understand that the humanity is dark. They should understand the brokenness of the human experience, and why, when you even try to portray goodness, which I frequently do try to do, you have to portray goodness crawling out of the muck of human corruption. And if you don't show that, you're not showing anything. You're just writing a Hallmark card. You're just writing a little fairy tale. Here is a holiday gift idea that's sure to make you the hero of the season. That's the gift of Genucel skincare. From now until Christmas, Genucel's most popular package has a special discount just for my listeners at Genucel.com/KlavanYT. Treat yourself and your loved ones to the absolute best skincare in the world. Those troubling forehead wrinkles, fine lines, skin redness, and yes, even a sagging jawline will disappear right before your eyes with Genucel's most popular collection. Plus, included in every most popular package is your free hyaluronic acid serum for skin hydration to restore your youthful appearance. Genucel promises immediate effects. You'll see results in less than 12 hours, guaranteed, or your money back. My producer, Lisa, she loves Genucel. She probably has one of all their products. She's always raving about the under eye cream and how there is nothing like it on the market. You deserve to look and feel your best this holiday season. Go to Genucel.com/KlavanYT to get this incredible holiday discount. Every order today is instantly upgraded to free express shipping. That's Genucel.com/KlavanYT today. So one more thing I want to talk about this movie. The movie's not boring. There are no scenes in it that I could instantly see should be cut out. It's 3.5 hours long, and there's no excuse. There's no excuse. You could have told this story in 2 hours. You could have told this story in 2 hours. It's not like King Kong, Jackson's King Kong, where you can watch each scene and cut a minute out of each scene. You could turn that into a great movie by just going through each scene and cutting a minute out. It's just overlong. It's not like that at all. Scorsese's an artist, and he does a great job, and the movie in some ways is very terse, but you could have told it in 2 hours. You just would have had to write it better. You just would have had to write it tighter. We've been talking all through the show about the power of the internet and the power of the internet becoming pervasive in people's lives. And one of the things that it's done is it's alienated us from the movies. The movies are now not the art form of the moment anymore. Obviously, streaming TV is. And so artists who make movies are losing some of their discipline. They're losing some of their desire to appeal to an audience, which this would have done much more if it had simply been shorter. Alfred Hitchcock used to say 2 hours is the limit of the human bladder. That's why he would bring his films in under 2 hours. So again, there's nothing I can point to where I say, cut that out or cut this out or cut this out. All I can say is, you could have told the story in 2 hours. It's not Gone with the Wind. It's not The Godfather. It's not an epic story. It's a very personal, small story about a very personal, small incident. The book itself is not that long. And I was joking with somebody saying eventually movies are just going to be endless and all they'll be is movies of you watching a movie. And you'll just sit in the theater for the rest of your life watching a movie about you watching a movie. That's self-indulgence. It is self-indulgence. And I think that the internet is, in some ways, is killing the discipline of artists and the discipline of filmmakers to keep things tight, to keep them where they belong, to keep them at the very pinnacle, that apex between length and entertainment. There's a point when you're not entertaining anymore and you've got to stop before you reach that point. And I just think I just thought this was a lack of discipline. Other than that, very entertaining film. I watched it at home because I didn't want to sit in a theater for 3.5 hours, but definitely worth seeing, and especially for that central relationship, where they were wise to make the center of the movie, and the performances, which are just great. And again, this woman, Lily Gladstone, does a fantastic job keeping up with Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro, both terrific actors at their best. Man, that guy is great. If you want more great content like that, like and subscribe. And don't forget to subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts.